Hashtag rise and grind. How do you not allow the outside pressures to get to you? Like, where do those conversations happen? Where do you find that strength to be able to carve your own path and not allow those things to sway you one way or the other?
It's a great question, and it's something that I've probably been working on in depth since about that moment that my first child was born. Because that's when I started feeling the significant pressures of how to be the best mom, how to be the best CEO, how to be the best wife. And there are times that it got a little overwhelming. And I'll tell you, and this is going to sound very structured, but this is what has worked for me. I was meeting with a group of other business owners, and somebody had introduced this to me. And so I do this every single year. First, I had to identify what my core values were. And that is what helps me determine my path. It helps me make decisions. It helps me determine who's in my life, who I'm partnering with, who my tribe is. But then I started an exercise that I do every year. And my husband and I now do it together. And I look at the 8 kind of facets of life. And these are in no particular order, but self, family, home, finances, business, spirituality, social, and what's the other one that I'm missing? Self, family, health, social, spirituality, business, finances, and home. Maybe I just discounted. And every year, kind of going through and saying, how do I guess the word is rate myself on a 1 to 10 in each of those areas from a perspective of how happy and grateful am I in each of those areas. And some areas some years I'll be low in the area of spirituality, and I might rate myself a 4. And other years I might be much higher in finances or higher in self. And then once I've kind of looked at where I am at that moment, I say, okay, if in 1 year from now, if I want to take this 4 up to a 10, what do I need to be working on? And then 5 years from now, what do I need to be working on? And so I'm constantly updating that wheel, because you find yourself in some seasons where business will overtake my time and my thinking, and it's all I'm focused on. And I'll lose touch with some of the things I need with my family. And there's other times, as I mentioned, spirituality I've struggled with. And I'll have to say, okay, over this next year, these are the 3 areas that I want to be focused on in the spiritual part of my life. And there are definitely years where my friends and my social side has fallen down. Yeah, when we're buying new businesses and I'm having another kid. And so it's been a good, I guess, wheel of strength for me. And then the core values are right in the middle, and everything has to tie back to those. But I have to do that work. If I'm not intentionally thinking about the different areas of my life, I will find myself going too far in one direction and letting another wheel fall. That's when you struggle.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's really strong and really powerful, by the way. Friends, if you were running or you were on your treadmill or you weren't near a pen, make sure you go back, rewatch this episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind and take notes. Write down those 8 sections that Liza was just talking about, like that, and spinning that in a wheel and constantly evaluating yourself. It goes back to what Beth said, right, when we were talking at the beginning with the quote, like really just having a plan and being prepared and knowing that the decisions we make today are going to have long-term impacts 4 years from now, 5 years from now. And just because we're weak in a certain area right this moment, that's not a negative thing, right, Liza? That just means that's an area that needs a little bit of work. And over time, we can really develop any of those things if we can at least first recognize that there's an issue, right? And I think that's what a lot of people, like you said, they're just kind of roaming through life. That's super strong.
Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in